This is going to be a short testimony of my work history and how God has blessed me over the years through work and labor and adding new skills. I want to start with a few scriptures. First is this from Proverbs, which says, "Do you see a man skilled at his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand, or the word is serve, before obscure men." Another one, "In all labor there is profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty." And then this is also a great one from Ephesians. "Let him who stole steal no longer, but let him work with his hands what is good, that he might have something to share with those in need." And then finally from Deuteronomy, this promise that where Moses says, "Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to make wealth." And so for me early on, this took this form. I was converted in 1975, and shortly after that I went to work for Tom Morey and Company. Tom Morey invented the boogie board, that really cool flexible foam thing that we play in the waves with down at the beach. And I started in the production shop, and we used knives and hot air guns and glue to make these boogie boards. And then I was asked by the production guy, "Hey Mark, I see you keep your tally sheets, your numbers are pretty neat." And that probably surprises my wife that my writing was neat. But anyways, he said, "Would you like to maybe go to the shipping and receiving department and take care of that for us?" I said, "Sure, I don't know how to do that, but if somebody could show me what to do, I'd be really happy to do that." And so I became the manager of shipping and receiving. And so in that transition from manual labor, now I'm working with paper and figures and tracking stuff, and making all the UPS shipping records. And so I'm learning a new skill, shipping and receiving, on the job, if you will. Not long after that, the company controller came to me and said, "Hey Mark, your numbers are great. Your math is spot on. I need some help here in the accounting department. Would you like to come and help me do bank reconciliations and account reconciliations?" And I said, "Well, I don't know the first thing about it, but if you'll show me and teach me what needs to be done, I'd be really happy to do that." So I graduated from the shipping dock into the accounting office, and I started doing bank reconciliations using pencil and column to write pads. And this is where I learned another skill, which is uh, calculators. We used to have these big desk calculators, and I could do them. I learned how to do it by touch, that is without sight, for both left-handed and right-handed, because sometimes the work would require me to use my left hand, and sometimes it would use my right hand. And I also learned about the basics of balancing to the penny. And it wasn't long after that that I was asked by a good friend of mine, Calvin Dykes, who bought an accounting firm there in Oceanside, California. He said, "Hey Mark, I've got this bookkeeping and tax firm. Would you like to come and do accounting?" I said, "Well, my usual line, I don't know the first thing about it, but if you'll show me what to do, I'd really love to do that." And so he brought me in, and at the same time I went to college. So I took Principles of Accounting 1 and 2. I took business law. I took income taxation, and really got a grip on the principles of accounting. What's called double entry accounting. So I learned how to use a general ledger. I learned what profit and loss was. I learned what the balance sheet was. And I began preparing what are called journal entries for entry into the accounting system to keep track of our bookkeeping clients. And so another skill, but you kind of build on the previous skills. Here I'm doing numbers, and I'm good with numbers, and I'm making sure numbers add up. And now I'm learning accounting, again with an opportunity that I was given, and my willingness to learn something new. And so my skills are adding up now. So I know shipping and receiving. I know how to do account reconciliations, bank book reconciliations, checkbook reconciliations, accounts receivable reconciliations, accounts payable reconciliations, and now I'm learning actually how to do accounting, which is how to prepare financial statements based on the financial records of a business, and that includes checkbooks and receipt journals and that kind of thing. So that goes along, and then he ends up selling that business, and along the way, though, what had happened is that he ended up having inquiries for new clients, and he would say, "Mark, why don't you go out there and see if you can talk to these people and see if you can't pick up the business." I said, "Well, I'll just go explain to them what we do and see if they want to join up with us." And so I actually sold a few new clients And so that was my first real sales experience, was selling new clients. And I sold a significant restaurant deal that was a big add to our monthly billings. And then, as I said, he sold that business to a guy, and I could see that he wasn't going to run the business very well, the new owner of the company. And so at that time, I started looking for a new job, and I found an ad in the newspaper, of all places. This is where we used to look for jobs, was actually in the newspaper. And there was a job for a construction company, bookkeeping, full charge bookkeeper was the ad, and said must know how to work with computers. And so I called up, got an interview, told these guys, look guys, I don't know the first thing about job cost accounting, because they're a construction company and they need a job cost accountant. I said, I don't know the first thing about it, but if you'll give me a chance, I'll learn job cost accounting. And they furthermore said, well, we also want to go to a software package, because they were running the books with columnar pads and with what were called one-write systems, where you'd write a check, it would put an entry onto a pad, and then you would carry it over to a column, and then you would add all the columns, and so you could get all of your expenses and your asset purchases and that kind of thing. So I said, okay, I don't know how to do that, but I'll tell you what I think sounds right is, let's have a competition. Let's go see what's on the market, and we'll have a competition. We'll set up some standards that we need to have, some kind of minimum things that need to be in the package for us to use it. And we'll just see how that goes. If you guys are willing, I'd really love to come work for you. So they said, okay, Mark, that's good enough for us. So they gave me the job, and I ran that competition. Ended up settling on a package called Contractor 3 out of Salt Lake City, Utah, and it went in really great. It was a phenomenal integrated job cost accounting package with general ledger, accounts payable, payroll, fixed assets, accounts receivable, billings, all of that. And so that went really well. And something occurred to me along the way. The fellow that sold us the software solution was a guy named Matthew Meek from ILAR Business Systems in San Diego. And I noticed something. I observed Matthew. I saw that Matthew would drive up in this beautiful gold Buick Riviera, that old model with the triangular glass that goes in the back, and just a stunning car. And he would drive up in that Riviera, and he'd get out of that car dressed to the nines in pinstripe. He looked like IBM sales guy, blue pinstripe, white shirt, red tie, beautiful wire rim glasses, gorgeous shine shoes, and a beautiful black briefcase. And he'd come into our business, and he would take care of us and treat us like kings and princes. And then I saw him do something. He'd pack up that briefcase, he would walk out that door, and he'd get into that Buick Riviera, and he would go somewhere else. So the next time he came, I said, Matthew, I observed that you drive up in your, and I didn't even finish the sentence. And he goes, Mark Becerra, you should be in sales. You would be a good sales guy. You did a great job for your owners here. They love the solution. You're as responsible as I was for this system going in well into this place. You should be in software sales. And I go, whoa. Now, get the picture here. At this point, I've become a controller for a construction contractor just by learning and piling skills on one on top of the other. And but now I've got this position where I'm in this windowless office, 8 hours a day. I make so much money per hour, and that's it. I've got a very set and defined monthly and quarterly and annual schedule based on accounting, because that's what accountants do, is they run on very tight schedules, and my life is very well defined, and so is my income. And so by this time, at this point in time, I had 2 children. I had two sons, and I think we had our third coming, and I said, I need to do better. I need to do more. I want to do better, and I want to do more. And I reasoned, and talking to Matthew, this occurred to me. I'm going to work hard all of my life. And if I'm going to work hard, I may as well maximize what I get out of every hour that I put into laboring, whether it's for somebody else or for myself. And so he explained to me the kind of numbers I could make selling software, and I said, it's a no-brainer. I need to become a software salesman. So I contacted the software company, Contractor 3, and they opened up, they gave me Texas to sell. And I ended up selling 4 licenses in Texas as a result of that. And so I really got into serious software sales there. And the time frame is probably 1983, 1984. And we moved to Texas, and by now we have 3 kids, and I think that my ex-wife was pregnant with our 4th, with Victoria at that time. Don't remember exactly, but I decided that I really needed to do better yet, and so I went to work for another software company. And the point is this: I leveraged every experience into something that was a natural progression forward based on the skills that I had acquired, because each skill fed and led to another kind of either promotion or a lateral move out of what I was doing into something new. And you know, my take is this: God gives us opportunities in work, and every job requires a certain set of skills. It's really important to master skills, because that's actually the means by which wealth is created, is through the exercise of skills that people are willing to pay good money for. And so in my life, and I could continue on how I ended up being an enterprise software salesperson, and now I'm doing that again, but in between I did mortgage loan origination for 8 years. So now I have these skills, and these are marketable skills that I can go out in the marketplace and tomorrow get jobs doing. I can sell software, I can do shipping and receiving, I can run the books for a construction accounting company, and I can also originate and process mortgage loans. These are 4 significant money-producing skills that I put under my belt that I can go to market with. And each one of them were gained by me simply asking, can you teach me? Or if you give me a chance, I'll learn how to do this. Because I'm a voracious reader, and I've actually learned a lot and gained skills through reading and applying what I've read, especially in my job cost accounting. And then I later sold manufacturing systems, and all that was the result of book work, where I learned the principles of the thing that the software was doing, and I could explain those principles to buyers, and they would say, yes, we need to do that. And you get people doing this, wagging their head and said, yes, we need to do that. Now you've got a buyer who's willing to give you money for what you're selling. So anyways, that's just a short picture of how God has given me opportunity and how I've used that opportunity to bring me to this place where I'm at today, which is I'm back selling enterprise software. I'm making more money than I ever have in my life, and I'm not done. I want to keep going with my skills, keep developing my skills of leadership, public speaking, persuasion, and company management. I hope to do more with that here in the near future. But I hope that helps. All right, take care, and God bless.